Hello, my name is Jim Levinthal, and people have been telling me to do a little tour of my game room, which I have been collecting, oh god, since I was a kid, since I was 9 years old and had an original Nintendo, which I still have, and is still hooked up. So, here it is. We're going to come in now and see what it's all about. First off, I'm going to show you the TVs. So there's 4 TVs, 3 oldies, 1 flat screen. Actually, there's 5 TVs. There's one over there too, hooked up to another original Nintendo. We got the first TV that has currently a PlayStation 2 hooked up, Sega Genesis, Sega CD. We're talking this TV right here. Let's see. I think that's all that's hooked up to that one. The mini flat screen has the Nintendo Classic hooked up and the Super Nintendo Classic. Underneath, you got the Sega Genesis and Sega CD combo. I don't know if it can be seen, it's kind of dark. And that is Shadowgate music you hear in the background there from my original Nintendo. That's the gun that goes with the Sega Genesis and Sega CD. What is it called? It's not the Menacer. The Menacer's the big one. I'm not sure what the little guy's called. Anywho, that's what's hooked up to the mini flat screen. Super Nintendo Classic as well, which is that thing right there. This guy. And all various Chinese imported Nintendo systems that I could just hook up at will that have preloaded games on it. And, you got your GameCube, Nintendo 64, which is below on a box there. And the TV that Shadowgate is hooked up to right now also plays Super Nintendo and, I believe, PlayStation 2. Each one of these TVs has a PlayStation 2 hooked up, as I am a massive collector for PlayStation 2. You will see that in a second here. The 4th TV over here has cable hooked up from upstairs in my kitchen, so I can watch Bills games, Sabres games, while I'm playing games down here. And, here's all the Bills memorabilia and stuff up top. So moving on, there's Creakers, hanging out with me. Hi, buddy. Are you hiding under the chair? Apparently. So this is a bunch of toys and figurines that I have from childhood. I kind of have a war set up from the good side and the bad side. And all my various sports trophies from hockey and soccer. And then we come over to this shelf. And yes, that is a CIB version of Mario 1, Mario 2, Mario 3, and a whole bunch of PlayStation 2 games. There's more. So we come over here, and I'm kind of proud of this tower. It's the most expensive Nintendo game I own. That is Princess Tomato in the Salad Kingdom, which is worth over $200 currently. Take a look at that up close. Pretty good game. I haven't gotten into it yet, but it's one of those point and clickers, kind of like Uninvited and Shadowgate, which is in the Nintendo right now. Also, you got Casino Kid 2, which is probably worth anywhere from $100 to $175. Got that in at a state sale. I'm not gonna. Well, I'll show you it up close. Why not? Kind of balanced to not fall over. So if you've never seen that up close, there you go. yeah, I paid $60 for that at an estate sale and brought it home and found out it was worth like $160. So I'm glad I picked that one up, because my whole buy at this estate sale, I paid like $168, and that game basically paid for the whole estate sale buy. I bought a bunch of games off that. And another gem over here, which is Die Hard. I can get it off without making everything else fall over. And Die Hard is a very rare Nintendo game, which is probably worth anywhere from $150 to $200 at any given point. So it looks really cool too. It actually follows the story of the movie, and it's a very cool shooter game that I definitely need to play. It took me a while to get that one too. It's a hard find on eBay. So we'll put that back, and it's all the rest of my Nintendo CIBers on the wall here. We got a full gumshoe, which is probably worth about over $100, maybe more than that. And all the rest of them, a lot of these I picked up from the same estate sale that Casino Kid 2 came from. So walking over here, you got the N64 games and GameCube, which is underneath down here. I don't have many GameCube games. I'm kind of a new collector at that, and I'm a new collector also of N64. But, you know, got a CIB Banjo-Kazooie down there. Now, I just set this TV up the other day. I am waiting for another Sega CD system to come in the mail, because my current one is malfunctioning. It is playing... it is not playing Road Rash CD, and that's a very a very fun childhood game that I used to love to play, and I've been trying. I don't have an original copy to it anymore. My original copy is kind of scratched up. I do have 2 other copies, and they just refused to play on my Sega CD. So, yep, had to blow like $220 and buy another Sega CD system, only because of the errors that are happening on my system. It saves when it wants to, and just a pain in the ass. So hopefully the new Sega CD system, everything works on it, and the saving works. Okay, here's my shelves. This one has Xbox 360, Sega Genesis on it, a bunch of PS2s that work when they want to, a lot of records, old records, jazz records. Xbox 360, I really don't play much. I'm more of a PlayStation 2, PlayStation 1 sort of dude. Some cool things on this shelf, though. You got Castlevania Symphony of the Night in very good condition. There's another one way over there, too, on that shelf. You can probably see it, top left corner there. That's actually 3 versions of Star Trek The Next Generation. I have those for sale because I actually have the whole 7 DVDs upstairs. 7 sets of DVDs, I should say. 7 seasons. So yeah, this is more PlayStation 2 stuff. It's all in alphabetical order. So like basically all the numbers start here, and then you go A all the way down to, I believe it's N down here. Yep, NBA Street. And then you got the PS1s, which are down over here. Got a bunch of those. And original Xbox 360 games. Here's Creeks again. Hello, Creekers! Atari. This is the first system I ever started on at my parents' house when I was like 4 or 5 years old. I do not have a correct adapter to run it in an old TV. I need to buy a new adapter for it. And then you got the Super Nintendo stuff, which I'm a fairly new collector to Super Nintendo, but I got a good amount of games for it now, and a lot of good games, a lot of gems in there, as they say in the collecting world. my Sega CD stuff. Here, I'm going to show you something not everyone sees every day. I'm very proud of this because I bought this when I was a kid. Thankfully, when I was a kid, I liked good RPG games, and Shining Force 1 and 2 were two that I beat as a kid. And thankfully, you know, got into Sega CD and bought Shining Force CD. We're talking, the manual for this game is $125. You put everything together, CIB-wise, we're talking $400 to $600. It's ridiculous. But I'll show you the inside, too. Everything is in awesome condition. The disc still plays. The manual I just recently bought because my other manual was water damaged. So $125 to replace that. There you go. That's Shining Force CD. And I mean, it's in playable condition for sure. And, you know, might be a couple scuffs and cuffs on there, but look at that. That's clean. So, a freaking disc like that sells for hundreds of dollars. It's insane. Game collecting is insane, though. You need to put down some money if you're going to get some good stuff. And, you know, of course, we got Road Rash CD next to it, the two copies that I'm patiently waiting for my Sega CD to hopefully play these. I don't know why it's so touchy, but my other Sega CD just, like, two screens will come up. The Sega screen, and then the production screen, and then it goes to a blue screen that says placeholder, and then freezes. I don't know if anyone has ever experienced that problem with Road Rash CD on Sega CD, but if you have, let me know, because that's a weird one. Sega Genesis, which is probably my second biggest collection, next to the PS2 and original Nintendo. As you can see here, you got Shining Force 1 and 2 that I just mentioned, and those are both CIB and worth some money. Yes, I am weird, and I own 3 different variants of the first Sonic the Hedgehog. Also, 3 different variants of Sonic 2. And why do I own 3 different ones, you say? Well, 2 of them are not for resale version, and there's 2 different not for resale versions of Sonic 2. But I also have the original that doesn't have the not for resale on it. And same deal with the original Sonic. There's a regular one, a not for resale one, and then this is the classics version that I didn't even know existed. But being a collector, you gotta own them all. There's the loose games on top. A lot of good gems in there. I'll just pull one out. Time Killers, which you don't see very often. Great game. It's hard, super hard. You got to be good at it to know what you're doing. Where did I just pull that from? Right there. I think. There we go. And yes, everything is in alphabetical order, including the loose games. A to Z. And A to Z down here for the Genesis. And this is where my original Nintendo collection starts. You got A to E here, and you're probably going to see a lot of doubles. Some of them are... I collect 2 versions of each game, because someday I would like to own it and maybe sell one. My whole deal is once I get 3 versions of a game, then I sell the 3rd copy, because I only want 2. I don't need 3 copies of the same game. But as we go on, you're going to see a lot of doubles. Apparently, I have a voice problem right now. Sorry about that. This couch is in my waiting room for my drum students, for people to sit down while their kids are doing their drum lesson. And, you know, you got unwrapped DualShock controller, which is probably worth something. And Atari Flashback, the box to the Sega CD Classic, which is upstairs in my bedroom. My degrees, Associates in Jazz Performance, Kenmore West High School degree. And if you've probably noticed, there's some Ween posters in here. I'm a big Ween fan. I've seen them 23 times all over the country, furthest being Las Vegas, Nevada, at the Brooklyn Bowl, and that's what these 3 posters are from. That's separate, that's separate, that's separate. You put it all together, and it's one big poster. You had to buy separate ones on each day, but I ended up buying all 3 at once, $150. Because I knew they were going to sell out the first day, which they did. Other game posters and such. But I mean, that pretty much... Oh, yeah, forgot about this shelf. Here's where the original Nintendo stuff keeps going. This is going to go from F to R, and then we get R to W down here. Wheel of Fortune, Rampage up top. And then I'm out of room on that shelf, and I'm starting another rack over here. This is W to X currently. I don't have a Y or a Z game. All my isopropyl alcohol, 99.9%. If you're an original Nintendo collector, you will know what that is for. If you don't, it is for cleaning the original Nintendo games, which I am doing currently from A to Z, and I am on H right now. I just finished cleaning a copy of Hogan's Alley. I plan to do them all. If I do a few a day, I'll have it done by Christmas. Some autographed early 90s Bills cards there. Andre Reed, James Lofton, Cornelius Bennett, Jim Kelly, Henry Jones, House Ballard, and other ones. Other teams. Dexter Carter, Neil Anderson, Steve Atwater, Reggie Rutland, Steve Tasker, Donald Audette. So a lot of old-time players. That's a note House Ballard wrote to me when I sent out my card to get autographed, because I used to send players letters to sign my cards, and I would send them an envelope with a stamp to send it back, and a lot of players did. Here is Lawrence Taylor, which I got him when he was injured, because I heard he was a very tough autograph to get, and I got him while he was injured. That's pretty much it with the game room, guys. I hope you enjoyed the tour, and I'll never stop collecting because it's fun. It's super fun, and you got to put a little investment into it if you want good games. Expensive games, but I'm pretty much buying games I want to play and games that I have seen since I was a kid that I couldn't play as a kid. So now, being a professional drum teacher, I am able to afford this hobby, which is great, because it is not cheap. So I thank you for watching the tour, and have a nice day. Happy gaming.